Hello, it's me, Mario. I'm looking for a peach.
All right, I got a secret time confession. So, I think it was like my first year of college. Y'all remember Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny?
I fucking love that movie, dude.
Never seen that.
I saw it in theaters with my dad.
So, movie comes out, all my friends go and they watch it, and they keep telling me just, oh, it's an awesome movie. You got to watch it. It's fucking hysterical. You got to watch this movie. You got to watch this movie. And then they would talk about it, and I never watched it. But I did listen to the soundtrack.
It's great.
So I had enough to like fake it.
Okay.
And to this day, I've still never watched that movie. All of the knowledge that I have from it is based entirely off a couple of story beats that made it into the songs. And I finally came clean and told my wife this 2 days ago. And I'm telling her, like, this is the shit I know from the movie. Like, apparently, the Pick of Destiny was like the Devil's Tooth or some shit. And it makes you play guitar. Yes. Awesome. At some point, I think they're doing a heist because I know Jack Black disables lasers with his dick.
Yes, he does.
And I do know that when they battle with the devil, who I've heard is played by Dave Grohl. I know that from Culture's Osmosis. I was expecting it to be a repeat of the scene from Tribute where they rock the devil's pants off and win, but he subverts expectations, and I think he tries to shoot them with devil lightning, and they reflect it somehow, and Jack Black casts a spell and sends them back to hell.
From whence you came, you shall remain until you are complete again. No!
So this is what I know of the actual plot of the film. And my wife said, you sound like an insane person right now. I think all of your friends knew you never watched the fucking movie, and they were just did not want to say anything because they don't know what would happen if they called you on your bullshit.
A couple things, okay? One, the deactivating the lasers with his dick part is hilarious because he's stuck like in this fucking crazy standing position and he's like, I can't reach the button, and Kyle goes, the cock, use the cock, and then Jack Black looks down and goes, oh, all right, come on, helmet head, let's get it on, and this fucking dick starts coming out of his pants and it just extends out and it hits the fucking button. It's hilarious. The scene, or you talk about Tribute, the end of the movie after everything's happened, they're sitting in their apartment and they're like, man, that song we played was fucking great. Yeah, it was. How did it go? And they're trying to remember how it went and they can't remember it, which sets up the story in Tribute, which I thought was beautiful, where they're like, couldn't remember the greatest song in the world. It was, dude, I can't believe it. We've got to watch that sometime. We got to watch that sometime, dude. Like fucking Meatloaf is in that, and he swore after Rocky Horror he would never be in another musical. But he said when his son, I think it was his son, when he was like, yeah, they want me to be in this Tenacious D movie, his son was like, Tenacious D? Oh my, you fucking have to do that. I mean, Dio's in it. It's a really funny movie, dude.
I've heard they've got some killer cameos in there. I knew Meatloaf appeared in there because I recognized his voice on the track.
Yeah. Tim Robbins shows up randomly as a random character. Goddamn. So there's one song, if you know the soundtrack, there's one song that's not in the movie. It's in a cut scene. And he's a character actor. He's balding. He's really funny. And he's always like he'll have his mouth like this a lot. doesn't matter. Anyway, he's the gun store clerk, and they go into this gun shop, and they're trying to get stuff for the interview, and I don't think they have any money, and they're like, can we play you a song? And that's when they do the government totally sucks, you motherfucker, the government totally sucks. And the when they get into the 'cause the land of love and freedom, and it cuts back to the gun store owner, and he's like wiping tears out of his eyes and shit. Like, it's a great scene. And Jeff, I think you would like that movie because I think it's like a tight, like 86 minutes or something like that. Like, it's not, it doesn't overstay its welcome.
Too long.
Fuck you. You like a tight 90. I don't want to hear it.
There's only like 2 things I know about that movie, and that's just because it's just from osmosis through other podcasts. Whereas Kyle Gass is like, I'll have a carrot juice. No, and I'll have nothing. Something like that. And then what was it like? Something like do a cock push-up. You only need one, or you only need to do one.
It hurts my cock. So there's one other scene, and I can visually do this for y'all, but the listeners won't be able to see it, thankfully. But there's
holy
Kyle's
shit, he's in blackface.
Kyle's trying to like flirt with this girl, and she wants him to go play at this party. And Jack Black's like, no, man, we're going to get the pick of destiny. Kyle's like, dude, no, but I'm saying she thinks she's into me. We could go. And Jack Black goes, and this is in the soundtrack, what's it going to be, Kyle? You have to decide, tits or destiny. And Kyle goes, tits. And it turns around and walks off. Oh my God. And yeah, funny fucking movie, dude. It really is. It's not just a stoner movie too, because like there's just some genuinely funny stuff. When me and my dad saw it in theaters, we were sober. It was me and my dad, and there were 4 other people in this theater besides us, and it was 4 college dudes on mushrooms. And I know they're on mushrooms because they were laughing and saying they were glad that they took mushrooms before they came in here because this was great.
Dave Grohl looks like Dave Grohl.
It's funny. I remember hearing like, "Oh, Dave Grohl's the devil," and then when they start the song, I didn't really hear it. But when he starts doing that, "I'm the devil, I can do what I want," I was like, "Oh, there's the Foo Fighter." There's never been a rock off that I've ever lost. Oh, what a good song!
So I always think when I think of Dave Grohl is like him confessing to being caught singing along in like a Backstreet Boys concert. Ladies and gentlemen, out in the audience, Dave Grohl, son of a bitch. And that's when I was like, oh, hell, if Dave Grohl can admit to listening to the Backstreet Boys, I can admit it. And I finally told my wife that I really do love that song.
Backstreet Boys has a few bangers, dude.
Never understood the appeal of NSYNC.
NSYNC's album that had Bye 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 on it had some album cuts that were pretty good, but I feel like Backstreet Boys have had the better longevity in the long run. And let me tell you, the appeal was not for dudes like me and you, it was for girls that were like, oh, they're so pretty.
Yeah, I know that, despite it being a boy band, it was not for boys.
Yeah, we kind of got fucked. Boy bands were for girls, and then like girl pop stars were also for girls.
Well, Lewis Black.
Just so you know, I was just gonna say I looked up the actor of the gun store owner, if it's the same guy, David Koechner.
Yes,
Koechner.
Yes,
David Koechner.
Him. That guy's funny as fuck.
Anchorman, Talladega Nights, basically everything with Will Ferrell.
Yeah, you like Adam Sandler has his guys. I feel like he's one of those Will Ferrell guys.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Thank you, Google.
News team, assemble. Hi, Ron.
Secret time.
How long have you guys been
I've
standing
never
there?
watched Anchorman.
Oh my God.
Because I don't like
Well,
Will Ferrell.
Listen,
You guys
that's
want to hear a hot take? I don't think John C. Reilly's funny.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say John Cena. Like,
Never seen him.
I think John Cena's can be funny. Yeah, never seen him.
John C. Reilly. So I like him in Step Brothers, right? I like the dynamic between him and Will Ferrell. But I don't particularly care for, is it Talladega Nights? That was him and him and Will Ferrell bit. I didn't care for that movie. I don't particularly care for, was it Dewey Cox, Walk Hard?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really care for that. So it's like, I kind of get what you're saying, but I like him in Step Brothers.
I mean, he's a good actor, like Gangs of New York,
Oh yeah, his
what's
serious
some-
stuff is fine. Yeah,
His
yeah.
serious stuff is good, but him being funny, I don't think he's funny.
He plays a
think some
really
of
his
good
best-
sad sack. Like
Yeah.
Chicago? Was that the musical? I think he plays the
Yeah.
husband of what's her face? Zellweger.
I've never seen Chicago.
You live in Chicago.
Yeah, and I've watched good Chicago movies like Rookie of the Year, The Blues Brothers, The Dark Knight.
Was Dark Knight canonically Chicago? I thought that was a Gotham. I know it looks like Chicago.
It's Gotham, but it's filmed in Chicago.
Isn't the Matrix supposed to be in Chicago?
I always thought Matrix was supposed to be like New York or Los Angeles.
Nondescript Hollywood city.
Nondescript Hollywood City, yeah.
Probably filmed in
Nondescript
Toronto.
Hollywood. Nondescript Hollywood Green City.
You know, the way they got the green effect is a hell of a lot more interesting than what people assume. Like, all of the wardrobes went through a green wash to kind of like give it a slight green tint instead of just calling it a fucking day and putting a filter over the lens
And
and color grading it. Yeah. They actually just lightly stained everything a pale green, which gives a really cool visual effect in the second movie when Agent Smith is unplugged, because now he's the only agent who doesn't have a green wash on his shirt. So like his white shirt underneath his suit is pristine white. So like you can see, and there's something visually distinct about him. And then they did the Blu-ray release where they recolor graded the movie, knocked everything to perfect white balance, and then put a green filter over everything and destroyed all of the effort that they put into it on set. So
That sounds about right.
it's never had a proper high definition release because, as evidenced by the fact that they're working on a fifth Matrix film, Warner Brothers does not understand the Matrix.
Dude, okay. Let me just say though, I know you say you're not a fan of Will Ferrell,
Not at all.
and I'm not gonna try to like sway you on that. Everybody has their tastes, but I will say with Anchorman, I think that like the cast carries that movie a lot, not as more than just Will Ferrell, because Paul Rudd, David Koechner, and Evan Almighty, Steve Carell
I don't think Steve Carell's funny.
are really
I
funny
thi-
in Anchorman.
I think he's obnoxious.
Are you? Well, you didn't like The Office, I'm gonna guess. You're not into cringe humor.
I've never watched The Office.
It's not my thing personally. Though I have seen some of the funniest bits I've ever seen in my life that have come from The Office. I don't sit down and watch entire ep. But the time where Jim covered Dwight's entire desk and computer and everything in wrapping paper, and then Dwight's like, "Joke's on you. I love unwrapping things." And he sits down in his chair and throws his briefcase on the desk, and it all collapses because it was just wrapping paper shaped like everything. And Jim just looks at the camera and then goes back to doing what he's doing, and then the open plays. So that's the cold open of the episode. One of the funniest scenes I've ever seen. But like, as far as just people who just put The Office on and watch it for hours, that ain't me.
No.
I like the shit
I
that
do-
sprung up because of the aesthetic established by The Office.
Parks and Rec.
Yeah, like Parks and Rec, fucking love that show.
You had me at Meat Tornado.
I just saw that clip. And actually the clip that got me to watch the show was the burger cook-off between Ron and Chris.
Dude, that's a
Where it's just like I just don't understand it. I've worked on this recipe for years. Granted, it's been a long time since I've had a hamburger. Half a second. This is better.
bites into it. Oh, this is better.
Meat, bread, that's it. Put a little squirt of ketchup on there if you want.
If you want.
Dude, Ron Swanson is one of the best TV characters ever written. And I don't know if it could have been played by anybody else than the dude that plays, I can't remember his name, but the guy that plays Ron Swanson, because he plays that so perfectly.
Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman, that's what it, like, oh my God, I can't even picture anybody else playing that character.
He
Wait.
was so committed to that
Yeah.
bit. It is so weird seeing him in anything else.
Yes.
Wait, I'm afraid you heard me say, give me a lot of bacon and eggs. What I actually said is, give me all the bacon and eggs.
Oh,
Do you Do you understand me? And the guy just nods, and he's just like, it's like he's about to cry, just because his favorite like steak restaurant has been closed down, and he's just like, it didn't help that Chris was just like, oh, I'll cook us some steaks. It's just a portobello cap.
There are still so many quotes of Ron Swanson that have worked their way into my everyday conversation that I don't even think about anymore. Like, real men don't shave beneath the neck. The episode where his other ex-wife Tammy shows up and like he fucking has a bug out bag in the air vents and just grabs it and runs when he finds out she's in the building.
I love it that he has an evil sixth sense. It's just like, she's here. And I love it eventually that he ends up doesn't he end up marrying Lucy Lawless? And even she's just like, hell, she's here again. Like, she's not even mad at Nick, Ron. She's just like, again, she's here. It's like, come on, Xena, kill her.
Yeah, right? You're a warrior fucking princess. To what, Dane, to what you were saying, anytime I see Nick Offerman in something that isn't Parks and Rec, I'm always like, man, they must have paid Ron a lot of money to do this.
Watch his stand-up sometime.
I didn't realize he did stand up.
He's got this one bit where he pulls out a guitar and he's talking about how he wrote for like him and his wife's anniversary. He decided to sing her a rainbow. So he's like doing this song with all the colors of the rainbow, and I think he's like, orange is a really fucking hard word to rhyme. But like his stage persona is just so diametrically different, and it's still Ron Swanson in the flesh, but what
was his musician persona, the jazz musician? Something Silver.
Oh fuck, I cannot remember the name. But I know exactly the episode you're talking about that first showed up in.
Duke Silver.
I know. You know, the word, you saying the word orange and what he said about that made me think of, there's this famous interview of Eminem.
I just saw this.
You can make anything rhyme. Yeah, I'll take my orange 4-inch door engine storage and I'll eat porridge with George. It's just the way you say it. Someone took that and made it a Talking Heads song. I don't know if they did it with AI or if they recorded it themselves, but like Talking Heads, the band, so like they took it and the chorus is, I took my orange 4-inch door engine storage and ate porridge with George. Lots of people say the word, nothing rhymes with the word orange anyway, or whatever the fuck it is. It's like, who came up with that? What the fuck? Some things that I hear sometimes just baffle me at the creativity some people have.
Well, I mean, trying to argue with Eminem about something rhyming, the man is a human thesaurus.
Yeah.
That's the reason that he will be the GOAT as far as rapping goes until he dies, and then will probably not be surpassed until we get someone who is so fucking autistic about the English language that they too sit around and read dictionaries and thesauruses for fun at age 3.
Yeah. You know, I would almost say that Eminem is the king of rap. And I know that's blasphemy, saying that a white boy is the king of rap. And I would get shot by a lot of old MCs that think otherwise. But like, I was having this conversation with my dad that like, people have come along and they've tried to say like, this is the new king of pop, but they never ever replace Michael Jackson. They never actually become the king of pop. Just like Elvis is the king of rock and roll. And I think the only person that ever came near that was Ozzy, but he's more like the king of metal, which is different than rock and roll. It's a whole different ballgame. Same spawn point, different ballgame. I would put maybe Eminem up there in rappers. There's some others that are up there with him, don't get me wrong. Busta Rhymes being one of them, in my opinion.
I still maintain that the true father of metal was Randy Rhoads.
I mean, his guitar riffs, I had this conversation, again, this is actually the same conversation, the same car ride with my dad. Ozzy got kicked out of Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath brings in Dio from Rainbow, and they go off and do that. And Ozzy is like, okay, I need to come out and do a solo thing. Everybody's like, what's Ozzy gonna do? What's Ozzy gonna do? What he did was he goes out and he fucking finds Randy Rhoads. And the first album that they drop together is Blizzard of Oz. Now let me just read some of the songs to you on the track list for Blizzard of Oz. First song is I Don't Know. Don't ask me, I don't know. It's a big Ozzy hit. Song number 2 is Crazy Train. Song number 3 is Goodbye to Romance. Then there's an instrumental. And then number 5 is Suicide Solution, which is another massive Ozzy song. Flip over to side 2 of the album, Mr. fucking Crowley. And then the other ones are No Bone Movies, Revelation, and Steal Away, which aren't as popular. But dude, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits off of a 9-song record. Not bad for coming out with on your debut. And then Randy Rhoads was playing guitar unlike fucking anybody other than maybe Eddie Van Halen at the time. But I don't even know if Van Halen was out at that point.
No, and the thing that Rhodes did that was so different was he was the one who brought the classical scales back into a hard rock setting, and that was the true birth of metal. Because all metal musicians are, and it sounds weird to say it, they are the modern vein of classical music.
Yeah.
Because when you listen to classical music and look at what they were doing, everyone thinks about, this is a very big, serious thing, but when the classical musicians were doing their thing, it was that long-haired music. That was what people at the time had a tendency to think of it. And they were playing at a more breakneck speed like metal musicians do.
I was just about to say, if you think about it, and there's actually, there's a lot of videos of dudes on guitar playing sonatas and stuff that are from piano, because you can transcribe it. They're doing the same thing. They're just playing the notes in that order. Except instead of playing all the notes this way, you have them on the fretboard and you're dancing around on the frets. But I've seen many of videos like Beethoven's Fourth or whatever that somebody will just bust out playing it on guitar. Fucking Tenacious D with Classico. I mean, that's a piano lick originally, but it just transposes over to guitar. So I can absolutely see where you're coming from with that.
Paco Bell's Canon in D and that kid doing Canon Rock. Remember that old viral video?
I do, actually. Or was it Flight of the Bumblebees that people try to play on guitar and bass and shit?
Oh, fuck. I can't even imagine trying to do that shit.
So there was an old, back in the day on, I think it was Guitar World would do it. There was a series they had. It was called Bet You Can't Play This. And there used to be a compilation that I would always show people because it was these really, metal guys playing these crazy things. And then it always ended with this one from Chris Broderick, who was like, "Hi, I'm Chris Broderick of Megadeth and Nevermore, and Bet You Can't Play This." And so all 8 of his fingers, sans thumbs, but all 8 of his fingers, he taps this fucking like this little classical bit on his fucking guitar with all of his fingers. And then he explains how he does it and what he's playing, and it's some like Beethoven thing. And I'm just like, I will never be that good. I'm decent at what I do. I will never be that good. I don't have enough time in the day to be that good. Jesus Christ.
I feel the same way about that, like watching Michelangelo Badio playing his fucking quad guitar. And the first time I watched him, I was like, this dude has to have like a major piano background. Alex, and yeah, he was trained extensively playing piano, and he just translated that into playing tap on guitar, and then engineered a guitar that was a massive X that he could just rotate and swap between the necks as he's playing.
Is it Mizuki from Love Bites, the all-female Japanese metal band? She's a female musical savant. She started playing piano at the age of like 2 or some shit like that. And that transposed over to guitar, dude. And her guitar playing is ridiculous. And she's so tight and perfect live that I'm like, yeah, that I can see the musical training in her. It's baffling to me what the people that are really good at piano can just translate that over to guitar and then write some ridiculousness on guitar. I love it. I love music. And I love Japan.
Well, speaking of Asian fetishes, welcome to Dane and Jeff's Media Dump. I'm your host, Mr. Eldane Puzzles Esquire, Mr. Puzzles short Dane for short. With me today, as always, we named the fucking show after him. You love him, you hate him. He will not watch South Park. He's also a duck, Mr. Grumpy Jeff. Jeff, how you doing tonight?
Quack, quack.
That's quacktastic.
Wait, what's it? What? Quack, 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 quack. Go Ducks.
Say no to quack, kids.
Okay. Quack is whack.
Thank you. And he loves music and he loves Japanese. He's the steam machine, Dalton. Dalton, how's it going, bud?
It's going well for the most part. I'm hanging in there, man. Lots of work lately.
Dude, I know it.
I thought about us the other day because I listen to another movie podcast called Redact. No, I'm just kidding. It's Red Shirt Cinema Club. It's some guys that I know from the PlayStation Access channel, and they've been doing Christopher Nolan movies, and they said that they've reached peak podcasting because there are three middle-aged men on here talking about Christopher Nolan movies, and how they think they might be complex and cool and all these different things. They're like, we really achieved peak podcasting. And I was like, oh man. So as long as we avoid Christopher Nolan movies, we can avoid achieving peak podcasting. We could continue our mediocrity.
Well, that's good because we're screwed because my next episode is going to be no.
I'm not watching The Odyssey.
No, I was gonna say Interstellar.
What I was thinking is it doesn't matter what take we go with on The Odyssey right now. Half the internet will hate you whether you like it or hate it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Funny enough, the episode I'm listening to today of them talking about was Dunkirk.
Mm-hmm.
So just looking at the name when I downloaded the episode, I was like, we were talking about The Office. I was like, Dunkirk just sounds like it's going to be like a fucking printing press company that there's like some drama going on and then I learned it's this whole fucking war movie and shit. And I'm like, oh damn. Okay. I was unaware. My expectations were knocked away.
I think Inception was a Nolan movie, wasn't it?
Yes.
I think that's my favorite film that he's ever made.
It is cool. It is a
Just
very, very
because
cool
I
movie.
feel like I won the argument on the what does the ending mean with somebody. Because you remember how everybody just would not shut up about that when the movie first came out.
Oh yeah, South Park did a whole episode making fun of it.
People are still talking about it. It's like the totem. Did it fall? Is it going to? What's it doing?
It doesn't matter. It wasn't his totem. His totem was his wedding band.
So, just very quickly, in the South Park episode, when the guys are talking about the Inception thing that they have to do, when one guy starts explaining what's going on, the other guy stands behind him and goes boom, boom, like doing the crazy Christopher Nolan like intense music. And then when the guy finishes talking, he's like boom, boom, bah. And they're like, that's stupid. It's not stupid. It's complex and cool. No, it's fucking stupid, dude. So anyway, Randy goes in to try to save Stan, who's in this thing, and Randy goes into this world, and he's a fucking butterfly. And he goes, "Oh, Stan, look at me, I'm a butterfly." And then he's like, "Dad, I need you to help me, whatever. Sorry, Stan, I'm gonna go off to find some butterfly poon. Good luck." Ooh, and he just flies. It's so stupid. Oh, Randy is such a dumb character, and I love him so much. He's the best character on South Park.
You know, instead of waxing eloquent about Nolan, we need to try and bring back Michael Bay as a respectable director.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about every Michael Bay movie you've ever watched.
Mm-hmm.
What is his MO?
Boom.
Whatever it is, shoot it like it's porn.
Yeah.
I was thinking more along the lines of every movie needs an explosion, but well, I guess that's
he shoots the explosions like it's porn. That's your money shot. Get in tight, bring it in.
Gotta get it nice and tight.
I think we found the transformer.
A woman in his movies, a woman's ass is shot with the same gravity as an explosion as a dude standing in the middle of a parking lot with a cell phone at that 360 centered dolly shot that he always has, where they're just like,
and
it's
the
coming
camera
in
just
low.
swirls around them. Yeah,
He shoots everything like it's porn. You know where he got his start?
porn.
The Got Milk campaign.
You know what would really sell this milk? If it looked like you got cum on your face.
You remember the one where it was like the dude trying to call into the radio station because he had all this memorabilia for whatever the trivia question was, but he couldn't get the answer out because he had a mouthful of peanut butter sandwich.
Yes.
And the
No,
empty
I
glass.
don't.
Look it up sometime. When you see it, it's going to take you back to your childhood. Michael Bay did that commercial.
Well, the one that I immediately started thinking of with those Got Milk commercials was the kid working in the brownie factory, and then eventually they run out of milk. It's like, I tried doing it with water, but it's just awful. Sometime later, my brother got the job, but he was miserable, and I ended up being a roller coaster tester at a theme park. Got milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be the Michael Bay podcast once we finally watch all the Nick Cage films.
The Baycast.
Well, I know a good segue would be able to do that. Well, no, it'd have to be the very last episode or the very last Nick Cage film we do, because then it would be the smooth transition into Michael Bay.
Oh, I got a Cage movie ready to go. I heard about it the other day, and it sounds ludicrous, and I'm so into it, wanting to see it.
I know what my pick is.
Like ludicrous for Nick Cage or just ludicrous for film? Because these are two completely different categories of ludicrosity, as it were.
So Free with Ads was talking about it, and it just sounds like a relatively normal movie until it isn't, and then it just gets fucking ridiculous for the rest of the movie. So I'll say movie ridiculous. Nick Cage, from the clip that I heard that they played, really does some Nick Caging in it.
Because I know that movie
That's
where he plays
himself.
An Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Mm-hmm. I just saw that for the first time.
That movie.
Here's another hot take. I don't get the appeal of Pedro Pascal.
He's a good actor, but I mean, he doesn't need to be in everything.
I did like him in The Last of Us, the TV show. I did think he did a good job as Joel. And
he was Mando, wasn't he?
Yeah. I still think it's hilarious that the Backrooms and Obsession both killed a Star Wars movie at the box office.
Wild, right?
2 horror movies made by YouTubers destroyed Star Wars.
I really want to see the Backrooms.
I'm
really
very
intrigued.
I still need to find out what Adam thought of it, because I know he finally got around to watching it and was expecting it to be terrible. I'm wondering what going in with that expectations does to your interpretation of it.
I'm trying to figure out, because, everyone is saying, oh, the Backrooms is very good. It's a very good movie. I had a friend who, she took her son, and both of them almost fell asleep in the theater. So it's like, what did you guys miss? Or what did you guys see that everyone else is missing?
I think some people are expecting more from it, whereas I am expecting backroom stuff, and just for it to be weird, and I almost just want it to abruptly end, because that would make the most sense for a fucking backrooms movie. And I think that most people aren't going in with that mindset. That's my guess.
The thing that I was wondering about going into it is it started off, because the movie is canon to the web series, so it is part of the greater Backrooms universe that Kane Pearson has built. But he did the plot for the movie in such a way that if you have no background with the YouTube channel and the shit that he's already done, you're still going to understand what's going on in this movie. This isn't, a clear part 12 in a long-running series sort of thing. But the fact that it started out as like a found footage film that he made in his bedroom when he was like a teenager in Blender, launched a movie career off of that, is just impressive. But I was wondering how the found footage aspect was going to translate to whatever the movie ended up being. And while there is that aesthetic, because that really does work well with the Backrooms, there are found footage moments that you get to see in the movie without the movie entirely being a found footage film. And they built a practical set. The Backrooms actually existed on this gigantic ass soundstage. They really fucking built it.
I thought it was like an abandoned aircraft hangar.
It wouldn't surprise me if they had to use something that damn big, but they really did build it.
I knew that. I heard they built a set, and I thought I heard that it was built using like a giant abandoned aircraft hangar.
I know Wendigoon got to go out because him and Kane Pearson's have kind of got to know each other through mutual YouTubing. He got to go out and check out the set, and they just let him loose and go wandering around, and he kept getting lost on the set.
I bet that felt surreal.
And I know that Kane just was laughing his ass off because he knew. It's like, I just let him walk off in a maze.
I still need to see Iron Lung.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too. Wendigoon is someone who's like content I really enjoyed. And when I've gone back to watch some of the more recent stuff, I feel like his vibe has changed. Like, he comes off more to me now like Charlie. Like that style of YouTuber where like he's like antagonistic in a way with his audience and stuff. And it's very strange to me from like the proper little church boy that I used to watch tell me about SCP things back in the day. But people change and evolve, you know. So
I was just listening to some autoplay shit of old Wendigoon stuff, and like one of his old ass videos where he talks about his interpretation of the Black Parade album popped up. And while I'm not sure that he's completely right, I do like his interpretation of it better than any other one that I've come across.
I'll have to seek that out. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Like you can tell this is like early Wendigoon.
Back when he was posting about guns and stuff.
I think his central argument is that Death and the patient are both characters within the song instead of all the songs being about the patient's life. His argument is any song that starts off heavy and rocking is Death's point of view, and any song that starts off kind of soft and melodic is the patient who's dying. And over the course of the album, you get to see Death go from the haha, you're dead to wanting the patient to pull through and not have to take them.
Huh. That's an interesting way to look. I haven't heard that album in fucking 20 years, but I know the song.
Yeah, it's been forever
listened
since
to it.
I'd listened to any of them. And like when that video popped up and I listened to it, I actually pulled up YouTube Music and listened to the whole fucking album for the first time in forever since like I was in fucking college or some shit.
God, I haven't heard that album since when I was a young boy.
Well played, man. I think I was still a teenager when I listened to it, and teenagers scare the living shit out of me now. Mama, we all go to hell. Jeff's sitting there like, I'm not quoting one of those songs.
I don't peg Jeff for knowing any emo music.
You be correct.
Yeah.
You guys are having your own little mini conversation about whatever the hell you guys are talking about. And I'm just looking over my shoulder and making sure my little kitty is doing okay.
Jeff strikes me as a Fallout boy.
No.
No, Jeff strikes me as fucking TNT. I'm dynamite. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, AC/DC all the way.
I will say, so he's 12 now, but my nephew growing up, he used to love Thunderstruck. You know, every time he was in a bad mood, we would play him, and now he would just be like, you know, like he'd be pumping his fist. And it's like, here's a 6-month-old. He's just like, yeah.
Getting down.
Yeah, getting down. Hell yeah, son. I can't hear. I'm so tired of hearing that song.
When my cousin was little, we watched her, I think until she was like 4 or 5. Her favorite songs were Crazy Train and Dragula.
Hell yeah.
Interesting.
At 3 and 4 years old, you could turn on like the Dragula music video and put it on the TV, and she would just jump up and down on the bed in the bedroom. Dragula.
You guys want to hear something that warmed the cockles of my heart?
Of course, I love hearing about cocks.
The cockles.
Cockles, yeah, of course, that's what I said.
So I recently saw my nephew, and I saw that he was playing Pokemon Red on Game Boy Color. And it's just like, you know, I was watching him just play for a little bit, and it's just like, do you enjoy playing these older games, or are you more of do you like playing modern games? It's like, no, I love playing old retro games, you know, like N64, NES. I just gave him a big old hug. It's like, hell yeah, boy.
Yeah, that's what's up, dude. I remember my buddy Joey had a kid, and his musical song that would comment, or he would just run and put it on because he couldn't talk, but he knew how to work a PlayStation controller and in YouTube. So he would run over and put on, I don't know the name of it, I don't know who sings it, but it's burned into my head for how many times I fucking heard it. And the chorus is, "No, no, honey, I'm good. I could have another, but I probably should not. I've got somebody at home, and if I stay, I might not leave alone." Oh my God, bro. I heard that song so many fucking times. So many.
Makes me think of our honorary niece and nephew. Not by blood, it was just their mom was like a sister to my wife. I had never heard Old Town Road until the niece comes in the house, and like they spent the weekend with us, and every time you turn around, all you could hear was that little girl going, "Can't nobody tell me nothing," over and over. That's the only part that she would sing. And I thought that this was just like, you know, the way she was built because she didn't listen to shit. And then my wife finally was like, no, it's from a song. I'm like, okay, clearly I'm old because I don't know what this fucking song is.
So, that song, dude, when it first came out, it tripped me out how much kids liked it because of what the song, like some of the things that it says in the song. Like that one line where he's like, cheated on my baby, you can go and ask her. And I'm like, damn, man, these kids are saying. And then I started thinking about the shit that I listened to when I was a kid. And it's, oh, skate, 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 skate. So I can't really say anything. But yeah, there's a remix that plays of that at work. And God, I'm going to take my horse to the old town. Yeah. It's catchy.
Yeah,
but
it is catchy.
My favorite thing about that whole thing was how much country music fans loved it and fucking loved that guy until they found out that he was a gay black man, and that just wrapped that shit up for.
Whoa, wait, he was black.
Yeah, Little Nas X, if you couldn't guess, yes, is a gay black man who has now been like accused of being the devil worshiper and things like that by that same sect who were rocking out to that song, and it just cracked me up because I don't know, people be wilding out these days, but it does not take away from the fact that is a catchy tune. If he never, I think he's had hits since then, but I don't know any of them. But like that's one that I will know, and it'll stick in my head forever. That goddamn chorus.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, there is a unification between the basics of country music and rap music.
Yeah, it's blues.
Yeah, well, telling that story.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Absolutely.
when you get to like, broader appeal is, just pandering to your audience. But that's just all pop style music.
Yeah, it all comes back to that singer-songwriter storytelling. I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. Fuck the police. I feel like Johnny Cash and NWA would have agreed on that.
Anybody got any fun stories that they want to relay before we actually move on? I know that we've been just bullshitting a lot this time. It's been forever since we actually sat down and talked, where we had to cancel this recording twice.
Well, a lot of shit's been going on in life. Do we want to get that? Do we want to talk about it, or do we just leave them in the dark and just go right into why all three of us hate this movie?
Fuck off, Jeff. This is a great movie.
Here, all right. Sum up your biggest bullshit from the last month in one sentence, and then we'll rapid fire it. My hot water heater exploded. Jeff.
Diabetes.
Dalton.
Big corporations suck and should give stores more hours, and I need to make more money.
Too much context.
I'm sorry, there's a lot more to it.
You should have just been like, I'm getting fucked in the ass.
Yeah,
you see what happens, Larry? Do you see what happens, Larry? You see what happens, Larry, when you fuck a stranger in the ass?
Oh.
God. I was so happy that we were able to clue Mick in on that so he can now get like half of the internet's jokes.
There is a card game based on Big Lebowski called Dude.
Is there?
I'm just going to buy a copy and send it to him as a thank you gift for that handheld that he sent me that I've been abusing today. The very first thing I did, I was like, all right, Nintendo 64 emulation has always sucked. Let's see how this thing does with a 64 game. So I pulled up Mario Kart 64, and there was only one major bug that I encountered in the entire time. That was the little picture that's supposed in the Luigi Raceway in that very first beginner race that's supposed to show what's going on from your point of view up on the Jumbotron. That didn't work. But otherwise, the game was playing flawlessly. He's like, yeah, 64 is about the limit that you're going to get out of it. It's a cheap little handheld. I said, fuck that, we ball. So I started playing Elden Ring on it. He's like, that one Jeff Scott can do that too.
Yeah,
it works pretty well.
The one that he had sent me, I loaded a bunch of visual novels on it and stuff, and then I also put Megabonk on there because I was like, Megabonk shouldn't be that intensive, and I didn't think about the fact that Megabonk sometimes has 400 enemies on the screen at one time, and when it started to get a few enemies, that thing started to do a little chugging, and so I was like, all right, we won't do this. I'll keep it to my retro games and my visual novels.
By visual novels, do you mean novels or do you mean porn?
No. These are the actual visual novels.
Okay.
I've been playing the porn ones on my computer. Oh, by the way, got my first nude CG in Rants, and boy, what an uncomfortable scene that was.
While you were getting your mom high.
No, luckily, no. I only play Rants after midnight. Like, when there is no chance of anybody coming in my room, just because I know the contents of that game. Really weird that it's like, yeah, it's got some porn and stuff in it, and it's really, really raunchy, but it's like wrapped up in this fucking pretty fun RPG adventure game type thing. It's been a good time.
Now, I recently found out about what's supposed to be like the most notorious entry in the Shin Megami Tensei series that Atlas did not acknowledge in their big like history of Atlas like art book or whatever the fuck it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's never had an official English translation, but there's a bunch of people working on patching it. Like Genten Megami Tensei, whatever the actual first word is, it starts with a G. But like apparently, your character very early on like gets possessed by a demon, kills the love interest's like sister or some shit or cousin or some fucking shit, but they still bang it out, and then she gets ripped apart by demons and eaten, and then the game is like reassembling her parts for some fucking reason. It is so fucking weird.
Jesus. So I just Googled it. Giten Megami Giten. Yeah, Giten. So I'm gonna think it's Giten. Megami Tensei Tokyo Mokushiroku. False reincarnation of the goddess Tokyo Revelation is what it stands for. What a hardcore title. Like Japan just be naming some shit. Some of them was hardcore stuff you ever made. Yeah, this was PC 9801 in Windows. Released in 97 and 99. Wow, dude.
Yeah, apparently for whatever reason, Atlas has decided that that's the black sheep of their catalog that they don't want to acknowledge that they made anymore.
That's wild. I've never heard of this. Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out, dude. That sounds interesting and dark as shit.
But like the scene where she gets dismembered and consumed in various states of gory undress apparently was very infamous at some point on like one of those Let's Play forums. I don't think it was a something awful one, but yeah.
One of those, yeah, of that era, like an E-Bombs world or some Newgrounds.
Now watch, I've said that, and someone's going to be like, haha, found an error. It was, in fact, something awful. And it was one of the Gooners playing it, back before Gooner meant that.
The only person I ever really hear bring up the Something Awful forums is usually Willie remembering something that he read once that happened on the Something Awful forums.
I heard it brought up so much during 2 particular episodes of Down the Rabbit Hole. The EVE Online one and the boat murdered that got me playing Dwarf Fortress.
You know what? That might be what I'm thinking of. It might not be Willie. It might be those videos where I kept hearing Something Awful. That EVE Online one, if anything was ever going to make me want to play EVE Online and never touch EVE Online at the same time, it was that video. Jeff, I would say it seems up your alley, but you say you don't like RTS games, correct?
It's not that I don't like RTS games. It's the fact that I suck at RTS games.
I'm not very good either, man, but I still enjoy trying.
I mean, the only way I can play is unless I turn on the cheats.
Yeah, chuck it on easy and
chuck it on easy, and I turn on invincibility or invulnerability.
I just admired their commitment to an entirely player-driven economy.
No matter
and
what,
all of the shit that entailed, and like the real wars that got waged by the players that were able to be translated into real-world currency.
Isn't it amazing that we put humans into a virtual simulation where they control the economy and we still end up going to war in the video games? It's fucked up, man. Wild. And listeners, if you're not aware, these are not small little like 20 on 20. No, this is like large scale, thousands of people fighting each other in this video game.
And where the servers couldn't handle it, their solution to keep the server from crashing was engaging like time dilation so that the server could actually process all the shit that was going on. So like you would fire a missile and you were waiting minutes for the animation to play out while just this massive star battle everywhere was playing out. And the fact that the very first, I can't remember what they were, whatever, like the Titan class ship, like the massive, massive ship that someone managed to finally build. The very first one that was ever built was dubbed Steve. And when it finally was destroyed in battle, because it was so iconic to be the first one, the game masters actually made its wreckage a permanent fixture on the map. So the gravesite of Steve and its ruins were made a permanent part of the game world. You can still go and visit the wreckage of Steve.
That's incredible.
Oh, but I guess we probably should actually talk about the movie at some point. So before we get into that, we do have a fun little segment that we like to do every recording because we are a semi bi-weekly podcast. High emphasis on the semi.
Occasionally.
Penis joke. So for this episode's Ha Dalton found an error. This one comes courtesy of Kana by our questions channel. When will the Roger Rabbit episode drop? So, before you hear this, Kana, thanks for calling me out on Discord. Asshole.
The fact that she put it in the fucking questions channel. For one, the one right before that was Fenris. Are you ever going to answer any of these questions? So technically, the answer to that is yes, right now, and we're going to answer Kana's.
To answer Fenris's question, so Dalton, you brought up a really interesting movie for us.
I did. When I was,
I'm not answering the question. That's the joke. In case you missed it.
Well, the other thing I was going to say is, yes, it is now July. It's July. We understand anime is 2 months late.
Oh, I'm willing to bet that this is going to come out in August.
Well, yeah, because I'm still going to post the goddamn Roger Rabbit episode.
No, because Roger Rabbit. Oh yeah, we recorded back in June for Roger Rabbit, didn't we?
Yeah. So yeah, we made the joke then. Anime in June.
Okay, so
June, July.
As long as we
August.
record my pick in August, then we're good to go.
God, my face hurts from laughing. Oh man.
Your face hurts from all those cockles.
All the cockles. We could call it animust. We'll workshop it. Why the book? Yes, I picked Suzume, and so the reason why I picked this.
Yeah, why did you drag that out of the media dumpster?
So
and subject us to it.
And why do you hate it so much?
I do not hate it. Thank you very much, Jeff, with your beard. I just
don't be jealous.
I know. I wish, dude. My cheeks fucking bare as a baby's ass.
You can see the bald patch.
Yeah, I can get the scruff down here. I got creepy man neck all day, but cheeks smooth. I got 2 black hairs that grow in right here. So I was thinking about
than my face.
I was thinking about animated movies, and I knew I wanted to do an anime movie. And if I couldn't decide on one, I was gonna go with Yellow Submarine because that's always a great animated movie, and I might even throw that at the show at one point one day. But so I was looking and I'm like, I want to pick something that I've never seen. And then looking through, I realized there was a bunch of them that I had never seen. So I'm like, all right, so let me look at these art styles. And it came down between Akira, and then I really liked the look of this movie, Suzume. And I figured that we could watch Akira any time of the year because that's like a critically acclaimed anime. So I was like, oh, let's do Suzume, because I don't know of another time that I would be like, yo, let's just watch this random anime movie. Other than maybe if we do anime in certain month here next year. But so yeah, I just decided to go with it and hope that it was good and hope that y'all enjoyed it.
This movie sucks. No, it really doesn't.
So yeah, I will do this on air, even though I did this when we were talking beforehand. So I owe you an apology, Dalton, because when you named this movie and I looked it up and realized the one you were talking about, I was primed to hate it, because this is like the third part of a thematic trilogy that the director of this film made on, I think they refer to it like the Disaster Trilogy or something like that.
Yeah.
And everyone has said that it is the worst of the 3 movies. So I was like, dude, you had to pick the shitty one in the trilogy, so now I've got to watch this shitty ass movie. And I put it off and put it off and put it off like I was supposed to be editing the Roger Rabbit episode or something. And then I finally watched it, and I was completely checked out for the first 5 minutes until the scene with the first door. And, as we get to the plot, we'll get to the significance of that. But just the Dark Tower vibes, that door standing there that opens up to somewhere else, that was the point where I was like, okay, I'm invested. And I absolutely love the rest of the movie. So spoilers on that. It is a good movie. I did like it. But
It is a good movie.
I am the odd one out who watched the dub.
And I am jealous because I have issues with the voice acting, especially with Suzume. Because
you don't normally watch subtitled stuff, right?
Well, no, I would have watched the dub if it was available.
I'm
but
not even going to say that I would have
know
sent
you
it to
offered it to me, but and I completely forgot you did. And it was just like, oh, rent it on Prime, okay, because that's what I always do. So my biggest issue is the fact that the voice acting for when she was 4 years old, perfectly fine, because she sounds the voice sounds matches the age. That voice does not change 12 years later. It's still the same voice. It's like, you sound way too young to be voicing this character.
Well, I mean, she is a child falling in love with a college student.
I'll say, I think Suzume is only 16 or so.
She's 16. If she fell in love with like a 20-year-old, it's just like, oh, Japanese.
Japan's a different world. Japan is a different world when it comes to stuff like that.
Especially the fact it's like, hey, excuse me, madam, I need a ride to this town. Can you help me get there? Sure. Now you're my slave. Work in my bar.
Yeah.
Did I miss something? Did she sign a contract?
Watch my children. I just met you. Watch my children. All right, they're asleep.
Yeah.
Work in my bar.
One of my, and again, we'll touch on this after we do the internet blurb and stuff more, I'm sure, but one of my favorite moments was streaming this to the Discord with Mick and Kana, and when the dude gets turned into a chair and just starts walking around as the chair, Mick just writes in chat, is he a chair now? I just like, you can just picture Mick having this confused look on his face and just be like,
I picked the worst possible time to fire a blunt up in 30 years.
I picked the wrong week to quit drinking.
Picked the wrong week to start it back. Well, speaking of our mandatory internet article blurb, let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Give our lovely viewers some context for what the fuck we're talking about. Suzume 2022, 79% user score. Suzume, 17, lost her mother as a little girl. On her way to school, she meets a mysterious young man, but her curiosity unleashes a calamity that endangers the entire population of Japan. And so, Suzume embarks on a journey to set things right. On the other side of the door was time in its entirety. So, there we go.
Good job, you stupid child.
As always, courtesy of the moviedb.org.
You almost fucked over Japan.
Now, I do have a tidbit from the Wikipedia. This premiered in Japan in IMAX theaters first, and then followed by theatrical releases on November 11th. But November 7th, this launched in IMAX. And I was thinking to myself, dude, seeing this in IMAX would have been a fucking experience.
I've only been to an IMAX once, and yeah, I bet this would probably be wild to see in IMAX.
Yeah, it also says it grossed $314 million worldwide, making it the fourth highest grossing Japanese film of all time, though it was later passed by Spirited Away. I guess there was a re-release of that, but wild.
Yeah, I think all three of his disaster film trilogy is in that top 10. That was one of the fun factoids that I stumbled on after watching this movie.
That's impressive.
I think the other two are like Weathering with You and
Your Name.
Your Name.
I know one of them has to do with a girl praying the sun back, and the other one is like a girl who wishes that she was born boy so that her life would be easier or some shit. So she gets magically body swapped. And of course, I'm sure that the two like fall in love or some shit. I just know the basic elevator pitches for both films.
What's interesting to me is that we get different names over here. It's kind of like the old video games, because Your Name in Japanese obviously is Kimi no Nawa, but that translates to Your Name Is. dot dot dot. Weathering with you is Tenki no Ko, which is child of weather. And then Suzume is Suzume no Tojimari, which is Suzume's locking up. So it's just interesting to me that they decided to change the name over here. I guess maybe phonetically make it sound better or whatever. But
Because we Americans are stupid.
well, I mean, you're not wrong.
Locking up. What's she locking up?
Locking up these nuts.
Tease.
Oh, got her.
Locktober. Google it, kids. See, I'm very curious, Jeff. We heard what Dane thought before going into this. How were you feeling going into it before you actually watched it? Because I know you're, of the three of us, you're probably the least likely to go just sit down and watch some anime.
Yeah,
That is
he's a furry,
correct.
not a weeb.
I'm neither, you asshole.
That was a good sing, though. Like, dude, the look on... I wish y'all could have seen Jeff's stoic face then. Just like, you motherfucker.
Sitting there trying to think up a good, intelligent response, and then got me fucking heckling you.
Nope. I'm not clever enough. You're just gonna get the blunt answer. Fuck you, Lucky Charms.
I mean,
But,
there's cats in this.
There is a cat. Two
Yeah.
cats.
I mean, it's not cat girls, it's just cats. But
One tiny cat and one massive cat that everyone's just like, huh, look at that.
oh, you're in the movie now.
You're in the movie. This is after everyone's seen a walking chair, which I before I respond to your answer. That what's his name is Sota.
Sota.
I think it's Sota.
Him chasing Daijin around in chair form. It's like, man, you adapted very quickly.
He did. Dude, that scene of the cat running by down the street and then the chair running by and then Suzume chasing after that, and everyone else that's just seeing this happen are all just like, what the hell did we just see?
And that was
I
the
don't
most
even
Gen
think it was
Alpha
that.
Zoomer shit I've ever seen, because everyone immediately whips their phone out and starts snapping pictures.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck was
Yeah, everyone snaps out their phones, take pictures, but I think mostly everyone's just like, huh, telephone. But okay, so to answer your question, going into this, I understand that it's just like, okay, we're gonna be watching an anime. This is a 2-hour long anime. Okay, I'll fight through it. It was a nice Sunday day when I watched this before all the shit happened. But so I try to keep an open mind. But of course, even then, I'm still gonna be like, okay, the logical part, or even the cynical part of my mind, is still gonna take over, and it's gonna point out the things that I didn't care for, which we'll discuss as we go along. But for the most part, it's like I went into this pretty positive.
Okay. That's all I could ask for, is you went into it with an open mind. And also, Dane, with the way you were feeling, let me just say, you now understand, though, why I set that bar so low. I hit you with Hypercube right off the bat, so now when I throw something at you, you have that exact thing. Oh, god damn it, Dalton picked another shitty fucking movie, and then you watch it, you're like, oh, it's actually pretty good. Oh, okay. See, just set low what was the old SNL? Lowered expectations.
I think my biggest problem with just everything anime, now that I've gotten old and curmudgeonly, almost every time I start an anime I've never seen before, whether it's a movie or a series, it takes so long to get past that initial, like, okay, what's the fucking bullshit rules of this world that I have to get past, because I do not have the cultural touchstones that this thing is relying on to help me pick it up. And for as intricate and involved as the rules of this world kind of are, they really did actually do a really good job of just grabbing you by the bootstraps and dragging you along for the ride very quickly. It's a magical door. There's a giant worm coming out of it. It follows. There's an earthquake. We gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah, and
I
then
will
it's just like,
go ahead.
I was just saying, it just goes from there.
And I will say, one of my nitpicks at first was, what is the story behind this worm. I mean, I get it. Yes, the worm falls. It causes massive earthquakes. But what is like its origin? What is the mystery behind it? But then, I've just started thinking about it. It's like, you know what? Sometimes learning the backstory, trying to you understand the mystery of something can ruin everything. So that's why it's like, you know what? I don't need to know. This is a very serious threat. That's all I need.
Yeah, it's a force of nature that just is. Doesn't matter why.
It's kind of like I look at things like that. Like, say we were all of a sudden in real life, there was just a giant fucking monster we had to worry about. I don't think we'd really be worried about like where it came from or what it's doing here. We'd just be worrying about like taking care of that shit so as little people die as possible. Then we can figure all that other shit out afterwards. You know what I mean?
The tinfoil hat TikTokers will figure out where it came from.
Yeah.
We just need to survive it.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, exactly.
But to start off, this is a very pretty movie.
Oh my god, dude!
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
Gorgeous. That's what I was thinking. I can't imagine seeing this in an IMAX. That'd have been like a legit an experience. Like just seeing all of these colors and this beautiful cinematography and the beautiful drawn shit. Like really, really fucking pretty movie.
Now I know one of the first things Jeff said in our group chat, because he saw the movie before me, was he said this movie didn't need to be 2 hours.
Correct.
And
I felt there.
Well, I was going to say that kind of primed me to expect it to be like a lot of scenery porn, like just really long, drawn out, slow pacing for the sake of getting visuals in there. That's what I was expecting because of that. But
No,
I didn't feel like it felt like 2 hours.
It didn't. I mean, to me, it did, but not in the terms of what you were saying with like a visual porn. What really dragged it out for me was like, at the end where, I think Mick and I'm sure a lot of viewers just like, oh man, this is such a touching moment. It's pulling at my heartstrings. I'm just going, her tears are way too obnoxious. Those are the nitpicks I was referring to. I was just telling myself, it's just like it just seems a little too extreme. It just went on for just a bit too long. And, all this stuff adds up, all these seconds. So it's just like, if you shortened all this to, even if it's like an hour 45, because there's no way in hell this could get down to 90 minutes. Not a chance.
No, there's too much story. There was too much story to tell.
There's too much story, and even like it's like the transitions of like, oh, we're going on to the next town now. It's just like it's. I mean, it does show some nice scenery, but there is some conversation that progresses the story. So it's like I had no problems with all of that. It just seems like there is just a few of Suzume's. It's all revolved around Suzume. It's just like she is. I don't know. It just seems like.
Well, the movie wasn't called Living Chair.
I know.
I'm sorry. I'm being an ass.
You killed him. Jeff, I will say that there were some scenes that I do agree with you that they could have shaved some off of. I'll give you that. The scene I think you're referring to, are you talking about the scene with, I believe her name was Tomaki and Suzume, her aunt, where they were having that whole blow up? Because I know that's the part that really touched Mick because of...
No, that scene was very touching. It's just like where eventually they have their fight in the rest stop, which is she's just I'm trying to remember what she says. It's just like, I want my life back before you came here. It's just like, wow. And I actually I expected that to really, so this seems like a normal American movie trope. It's just like, I hate you, I want nothing to do with you. So then there's going to be like 10 minutes at least of the person runs away. Oh no, what have I done? It's just like, no, it just turns out that's when how do you what is it the big cat Sodaijin. Yes, that's when he appears. And it's just like, oh, are we not gonna are we gonna go enter this trope even further? It's just like, no, it kind of just like stops it right there. It's like, oh, okay.
But I think it's still, though, it's a good like
No, it was
representation of things being.
it was a great scene. I was just my issue, or it's not an issue, it's just what I was expecting, because of that is such a movie trope. It's just like, I hate you, I wish you gotten out of my life. That's like how it was in Jersey Girl. But even then, that was also just a very short scene where Ben Affleck says that to his kid, and George Carlin is just like, what the hell's the matter with you?
But well, what I mean more so is,
So
I understand that it's a trope, but it's a good, humans say things in the heat of passion, be it good or bad, that they don't mean sometimes.
You're misunderstanding me. I'm not saying that this was bad. That was
no,
a
I'm not
great
thinking you
scene.
are.
I'm just saying, like, if this was a different movie, that would have been like a 15 to 30 minute arc that did not need to be there. This was short, concise, powerful, very emotional. It was very well done.
I get what you're saying. And again, I didn't think you were saying this was bad. I just understand why that trope exists. That's all I was trying to, because I know this scene in particular hit Mick in the feels because of his whole situation with his kid and family and how that all came about and everything. And he was trying to like put himself in the shoes of that and being like, oh man, like that was when this movie started really like hitting him hard. And I know he wanted to be here tonight to talk about that, but he, obviously couldn't make it. But yeah, there were a few scenes in this that I thought were very, very well done, to invoke an emotion out of.
Yes, very much so. I just felt like the ending. I get that it's very powerful. It's a very revealing. I just felt that it could have knocked a minute or two off it, because I just felt like it was just going on for a little too long.
This kind of suffered Return of the King syndrome, where that movie had so many goddamn points that were clearly signposted as endings.
Oh yeah, Return of the King ends like 6 times.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Because I can easily see a world, because my first time through, at like the hour and a half mark, where Sota becomes the keystone and she has to use him to seal away the worm to keep Tokyo from being destroyed. I think there's a world where that's the ending of the movie.
And her not going in to save him and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, the bittersweet sacrifice ending. I think that there is a world where that's the end of them. And the fact that it kept going for another half an hour past that kind of caught me off guard.
When that happened, I was very curious as to like, where is this going to go from here? Didn't quite expect where the whole going in there trying to get him back out, like almost JRPG style.
I will say, who was Sota's friend? What was his name? Was that Hitsu? I'm looking at the character list, and I'm just I know. Is it
Hitsujiro?
Hitsujiro, okay. I do find it funny at the end, or like throughout it's just like, he owed me money. He owed me 20,000 yen, which I meant to look up to see how much was 20,000 yen at that time. But then at the end, it's just like, no, it's actually me. I owed him, but don't tell him that. I was like, ha.
Was it Sarazawa?
In 2022, about $154 average.
I mean, I wouldn't drive 8 hours for that. In the rain with my busted ass convertible.
Which I also enjoyed, because I was like, oh man, that looks like a shitty Alfa Romeo. And it was.
Oh, Dane is correct. The character we're thinking of was Tomoya Sarazawa. Yeah, I liked how you always had a cigarette.
So wait, who was Hitsujiro? That was his grandfather. Sota's grandfather.
Was I the only one when he lit the first cigarette in front of the aunt and she kind of looked at him and gave him sploosh face that kind of was a little creeped out about the vibes there?
It's like, she was like, "Oh, he's a bad boy."
Is there going to be a sex scene in this movie?
I thought she had something going on with that dude back at home.
Yeah, what?
Is Auntie a cougar?
Imagine a movie like this comes out and it's just a beautiful story, beautifully animated, and in the middle of it, there's just a hardcore hentai scene for a sex scene.
I wouldn't.
I
Put
think
it past
there's a world where
Japanese.
that exists too.
It might exist, and I just don't know about it.
It exists on Pornhub.
You'd be surprised what
you
isn't
don't
on
know is
Pornhub.
there was a 2 hour and 45-minute cut of the film.
She fucks the chair.
That's how the leg broke off. Just going to turn his
She saw
fucking
that-
camera off again.
She saw that dude walking down the street that day, just flush, and then she went home. Also, so at the beginning of the movie, she's just like walking down this beautifully scenic, like waterside road, and she's riding her bike, and she just goes past this dude who's walking, and she just stops and turns and looks at him. And I think there's this weird time as a cycle thing going on in this movie because of when she gives her crying self the chair years later. Like, she has memories of that as a kid.
Yeah,
So,
I've
like,
got a
there's this
rant
weird-
about that.
There's this weird time logic where it's like time loops. But
It's the same with Terminator. John Connor sends Kyle Reese back in time so he can fuck Sarah Connor so he can give birth to John Connor.
Go hit that, Dad. What? What?
What?
All right, so let's go ahead and get this
I'm
out.
my
'Cause I've
own-
got a rant.
I'm my own grandpa.
Many, many years ago when I was 23. I did that.
Classic.
I did that entire song for a talent show when I was in elementary school. We've got a tape somewhere. All right, so I got a bitch about the time hijinks. So I realize that we have not done a good job of actually discussing the plot of this film. But the worm that causes earthquakes lives in the dub. It was referred to as the Ever After.
Mhm.
I assume it was.
I think that's what it was in the sub too.
The Ever After, yes.
So they do say at some point in the film that time exists at all points in the Ever After. So there's not like a linear timeline there. It's just any win is the same thing. So like you can't think of it linearly there. So after the tsunami, which destroyed her town and killed her mother, she went looking for her mom at 4, accidentally walked through one of these magical doors and got lost in the Ever After. And then she is found back out in the snow by her aunt with the chair. She was given that chair by who she thought, in her faded childhood memories, was like the ghost of her dead mother. Turns out, at the end of the film, in an effort to try and save Sota, Suzume goes back through that same door. They have their big ending scene, which I'm sure that we'll eventually talk about when we do a better plot analysis here. But after that epic battle, they see 4-year-old Suzume, who's lost in there because time flows funny here. And that's where you have that emotional moment of Suzume coping with that childhood trauma of losing her mom. And she gives her younger self the chair that Sota has been possessing this entire film. That means the childhood chair that she has cherished her entire life because her mom made it was given to her by her adult self in a time loop. This is not the chair that was made by her mother. It's a time paradox known as a Jin particle. It exists solely within this never-ending loop, being passed from future self to past self infinitely. The chair her mom made from that sweet childhood memory was destroyed in the flood, and this thing is just some weird paradox that shouldn't exist, and that bugs me deeply.
And did you read anything about people's when they looked into why the chair had 3 legs? Because the chair represents her childhood, and the leg is gone because she had her mother yanked away from her, and like that part of her childhood was destroyed. thereby removing one of the legs, representing that part of her childhood that was taken from her. And I was like, that's fucking brutal. But I still agree with your Jim particle. That makes a lot of sense too.
But Shin articles don't make sense. That's the thing that bugs the shit out of me. It's like, yeah, it's a cool idea, but it's not the chair. And I think there's even a point where, before she goes back on the time hijinks, where she's thinking back to the chair and has the memory of her mom making it, and like, I'll take care of it forever, mommy. And she wakes up, she's like, an easy childhood promise. How long did it last? Not very long, because like within less than a week, tsunami came through and destroyed the fucking town along with your chair, and you've been passing this chair doppelganger back and forth on an infinite time loop.
Now, okay, you talk about, we mentioned this earlier, so this is more like getting into the plot. So she sees this guy as she's coming down the street on her bike, and he's like, hey, have you seen any door? I'm looking for a door. It's like,
it ruins, any ruins.
Oh, that's right, ruins.
Here.
And she's like, and I think she like mentions the name. I don't remember exactly what the name of it was, but she talks about it, and then she rides off, but she ends up at these ruins. I guess maybe, was she looking for that guy? Because she thought he was cute, if I remember.
She thought she recognized him. And like,
that's
when
what
they get to the railroad crossing, and like her friend's like, you look a little pink in the cheeks, and she's like, crap, they can tell I splooshed. So she's got to like pedal uphill and get some ass sweat built up to have a excuse for it, I guess, and to go try and find the guy, and then accidentally starts the first steps of Armageddon.
Yeah, so she finds this door in the middle of this room, very Dark Soulsy, or as you said, very Dark Tower.
Yeah, 'cause there's a lot of instances of just freestanding doors to somewhere else within specifically the second book in that series.
Man, that's just it's a strange thought to me. You know what I mean? Like, I almost think somebody could do like one of those weird little YouTube horror shorts about just a door standing in the middle of nowhere.
I know there's the creepypasta about the stairs to nowhere.
Yeah, the stairs in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I swear, like the first time I heard that, I felt like I've seen those stairs before.
And that's a weird feeling. And that, sir, is liminality at its best. Quick side tangent, dude. The picture that I posted in the Liminal channel the other day, that was like the living room on like a plywood floor, but like it looked like the ocean was right there next to it.
Yeah.
And just darkness. Dude, that picture fucked me up. Like, I was like, nope. No.
I don't know why, but the fact that it looked like someone had clearly been sleeping on that couch at some point very recently made it even worse.
Yeah, dude, I wouldn't be able to sleep a fucking wink. I'd be like, nah, dude, no. How did I end up here?
And then me trying to be an asshole because I knew that one got you. I tried to go AI generate some more like of an abandoned mall with a flooded toy store just off to the side.
Yeah, that one was odd too. I was like, how is the water not coming out? How would you get out of that room if you were in there? What the fuck? But so there's this freestanding door, and she goes over to it and she opens it, and there's this beautiful, like, serene looking area. And she tries to walk through the doorway, and she just walks through it, like literally, and then just comes out the other side and turns around, and she's still looking at this serene picture, and she's like, what the heck?
Yeah, she kept running through this like 3 or 4 times until eventually she trips over the there's a statue in front of the door.
Yeah, the keystone.
The keystone. And eventually the keystone comes to life.
Doesn't she pick it up and then it turns into the cat?
Yeah.
And runs away?
Because every dumb bitch in a horror movie, instead of getting the fuck out of there when weird shit happens, it's, oh, here, this mysterious, strange-looking rock next to this door that apparently opens to a parallel universe. Let's pick this up and stick around a little longer.
So, again, forgive me.
Nothing bad gonna happen today, Dewey.
I haven't seen this in a month, but I believe she starts heading home, and then hell starts to break loose.
No,
gets to school
she goes back. She gets to school, yes, and she's talking to her friends, but she just feels off. And then I think it's just because she eventually she's looking out the window across the bay, and she just sees this giant.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
it looks
She
like
can
a
see
plume
the
of
monster.
smoke at first, and they start getting
Mhm.
earthquake warnings on their phones.
And no one
Yes.
else can see it.
All they can see is earthquake warning.
That's right. That's right. Because that's her warning as to where the door is at, and everyone's looking at her like she's fucking crazy. Because they're like, "What are you talking about? Smoke? We don't see any smoke." And she's like, "What are you talking about? It's right there." And then she's just like, "I gotta go."
Yeah, she realizes that
goes
she's the
back.
only one who can see it and heads straight back.
And she finds Soda trying to close the door, and she helps him.
After standing there and watching for a while, let me just go ahead and say, like,
Yeah, like it was long enough for me to be like, "Bitch, get out of there or help him. Don't
"Hey,
just
bitch, go help him."
your ass is getting soggy and the world's about to end clearly. Either get out of Dodge or chip in to save it." That was probably one of the moments that Jeff was talking about. Like, this could have been a little shorter.
Yeah, she could have responded a little quicker, especially if she was feeling a little pink in the cheek or earlier. It's like, oh, it's the cute boy. I must help him.
I mean, if you're going to ride that chair, you need to go over here and help him shut the door.
I'm gonna look back through that chat because I feel like I made a. You guys
Where
can continue, but I feel like I made a thing about that where I was like, "Bitch, will you help him with the door?"
I'm trying to figure out where my notes were, because it's been a long time since I watched this.
Yeah, I cheated watching it just a few hours ago. It's all still nice and fresh for me.
Oh,
Which, by the way, daughter
I
loved
think
it.
my first thought:
yeah.
Suzume is Boo from Monsters Inc.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that because of the doors.
Kitty.
So when he
And
got turned in,
And another reason why I don't like subs is because usually they speak so quickly that the text goes by so fast. It's like, I can't read fast enough. I'm an idiot.
My problem is, especially the first time watching, like, being animated implies to me that a lot of care goes into the visuals of it, and I don't want to be reading text at the bottom of the screen instead of appreciating it. So for all the sub purists, that's my excuse. You can bite me if you don't like it.
I did make what I thought was a funny joke. I don't know how it'll play over, but in the chat when we were watching it, when he got turned into a chair, I said, "Babe, would you still love me if I was a chair?" And then after that, I put, quote, "Absolutely dash JD Vance." And Kana was just like, so wrong, but so funny.
Well, not a children's wooden chair. That's how you get splinters.
Just ask George Washington's wife.
Something, termites, vagina, wood teeth.
Yeah, they'll come up with the joke and make a cutaway for it.
So I guess we should explain the hole becomes a chair point, because after they get the door shut, he does his normal badass storm away, don't look back, forget all this. And then the first of many instances of Suzume bullying Sota, she forces him to come back to her house, up to her room, so that she can doctor his wound that he got while saving her life. And while she's fucking around downstairs, he has enough time to clean her entire fucking room. Which, I'm sorry, but that's a sociopath if I've ever seen one.
That's like the equivalent of looking in the medicine cabinet. Fungicide. Fungus?
Jeff, that's exactly where my brain went. I'm glad we were on the same wavelength. When you said medicine cabinet, my brain went fungicide.
Is this a reference I don't know, or is it just
It's
y'all being
Seinfeld.
the same way? Okay.
Seinfeld.
I'd never watched fucking Seinfeld.
It's overrated.
It's funny. George is the best character on the show.
George is a piece of shit, and I hate him.
George is everyone on that show is a piece of shit. Everyone,
Yeah.
all the main characters, all four of them, they're all pieces of shit.
That's why they end up in jail, and that's why Putty goes off to forget about Elaine.
Yeah.
I know.
High five.
After the fact, Kramer apparently dropped the hard R at a heckler. Is all I really know about it.
Was it a hard R or a hard N?
No, he dropped the N-word with a hard R on the end of it.
Ah.
Yeah, called somebody Lovecraft's
Yeah.
cat.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's right. Lovecraft. Jesus Christ.
Ever since
So-
Willie dropped that one on me, I always take the opportunity to make that particular reference.
Am I the only person that if something
Yes.
ridiculous happened and the person that was there with me said, "All right, I'm off to handle something. Forget this ever happened." I would be like, "You got it, dude," and I would go home and never think about it again.
Deal, Howie, this was fucked up.
I think I may have asked a question or two, but then I'd be like, well, okay, thanks for stopping by.
Well, anyway,
going home and not thinking about this will keep me alive.
so she bullies him into her house. He, psycho killer, cleans her entire room and then props up this clearly made for a child chair missing a leg on like a can of something and awaits her to come in and start doctoring his wounds. And while this is going on, the cat from earlier that used to be a rock shows up and she's like, "Oh, cute little kitty, your skin and bones." Feeds it, and baby talks it just a little too much. And all of a sudden, now it's perky and happy and wants her to be his human. So, to facilitate that, decides to get Sota out of the picture by causing him to possess the chair.
That cat looked at that motherfucker and said, "You're in the way." Boom!
Which
I thought
totally
that cat was going to be.
in character for every cat I've ever met.
Yeah.
I thought that cat was going to be more of a villain just because of the fact it did like that real creepy Japanese anime style look. And I was just like, oh, okay. I think I may have found like one of the antagonists, and it's like, no, it's just a piece of shit.
I think that was on purpose. I think that was a red herring.
Well, even on a second watch, I feel like Daijin, the cat, definitely brings chaotic neutral energy.
Oh yeah.
So like not
He's definitely
really
the Trevor Phillips of this movie.
So not outright evil in its actions, but definitely kind of selfish, but not necessarily entirely.
It's mischievous. It's mischievous. It's like Loki,
but without the horse fucking.
I was kind of surprised they didn't make it.
That's another porn parody.
No, that's just Norse mythology.
I was gonna say that's mythology.
And he did not. He was definitely the receiver.
I'm still saying that's gonna be that's a porn parody.
I'm surprised they didn't make that character, although it might have been a dead giveaway, an Inari, a fox, since those are generally in Japanese mythology mischievous. They would think that Inari would become humans and then play pranks on people.
I think it might be too on the nose.
Yeah, as I'm talking about it, yeah, that's what I'm gathering too. I might have given it away the goose too soon.
I think they just wanted to show that this cat's an asshole.
All cats are assholes. It's just different level of asshole.
Like, are we a mild asshole or are we a gaping asshole? And Daijin definitely leaned towards gaping asshole, at least for the very first interaction. But then the rest of the movie is a road trip film of them pursuing Daijin, trying to get it to turn Sota back into a person and resume its role as the keystone to go back to keeping the doors locked and the worm at bay.
Yeah, and that's where the scene we mentioned earlier comes into play, where Daijin runs off, and then Sota, as a chair, jumps up into the window, hops out, jumps down the balcony, and starts chasing him. So then Suzume takes off, and that's where they're all running down the street, and people were taking pictures like, what the fuck? And they have to have the conversation where she's like, people are posting about you online. You can't just be running around as a chair, Sota. Like, that's not normal.
And then him having to grow as a person, realizing, oh, I can't turn the key anymore. I have to have help now. The thumbs.
I think he would have figured it out. I mean, he still was managing to close doors as a chair. He would have figured out how to lock it.
So, I know you was talking about things being kind of occasionally drawn out. Mm-hmm. The fact that this becomes
it's drawn out. It's anime.
All right, now you're being the ass. Okay, that's fair. So the movie being kind of the road trip format for the majority of the runtime after this point, did you ever feel like any particular place that they stopped dragged on too long, or was just kind of like death by a thousand cuts, little moments stacking up across all of them.
The only one I just truly didn't understand is Rumi, just because it's like, hey, thank you for thanks for the ride. I really need to get to Kobe, which I'm shocked there were no helicopters. Too soon?
Nah.
Okay, no, it's just like, hey, thanks for a lot for getting me here. Is there any way I can pay you? Yeah, watch my kids. Oh, they're asleep. Work in my bar. What? Did
And
I
then
miss
had the nerve
something?
to lecture her for taking off in the middle of a shift when she doesn't fucking work there.
Yes. It's like, did I miss something?
Or the fact that Orange Girl was so endeared to her after the just last minute drag the net across the road and keep all the oranges from rolling all the way down to the bottom of the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just was so attached to her from that one little interaction that she chased her down on the back and was like, hey, clearly you're in a big hurry to go somewhere. Can I help? Oh, yeah, I'll drive you out here in the middle of nowhere to this abandoned place while you run off beyond the landslide. Like, that definitely had this kind of air of, wait, you've known her for like all of 5 minutes? Yeah, that was a lot of oranges she saved you from having to pick up by yourself, but that's a gas.
And then also to help pay you to pay her back for saving the oranges, like, you could stay in our family hotel and we'll feed you. It's just like, she saved you from being inconvenienced for maybe 15 minutes at the absolute most. It doesn't seem like it's like a hotel room and food it equals that. But then again, I don't know Japanese culture. Maybe that's just a normal Tuesday for them.
Apparently, the food wasn't supposed to be that damn good, even though she was starving, and that's why it was delicious. Because, she's like, oh, it's so good, and is crying because the food tastes so good. And the girl's like, how hungry were you? And even when I was watching it with my daughter, whenever she like picks up the fish and dunks it in the rice and starts shoveling, my daughter's like, ew, before the whole, oh, it's so good.
I mean, have you ever been super hungry and then ate something that tasted like the most delicious thing you've ever had?
Yeah, I remember
Yes.
being in Boy Scouts and it was raining, just piss pouring rain. We couldn't light the campfire and I hadn't eaten 12 hours. And one of the other dads like cracking open a can of sardines and handing me that and a pack of crackers, and it was fucking ambrosia.
Yeah.
So
I
y'all,
just had
yeah,
a
I
moment
get
similar
it.
to that. I had a similar moment of that like a month or so ago. I hadn't eaten since lunch, and I was starving. My wife had just finished cooking some like little pork cutlets, and it's just I took a bite and I immediately my eyes started tearing up. I was just like, "It's so delicious," and she was just looking at me. He's like, "What the hell's wrong with you?"
Yeah, there was a time. Oh, go ahead, Dane.
I was just going to say, cue the sitcom trope of, I was so hungry I enjoyed my wife's cooking punchline.
Yeah. My wife, take her, please. There was a time it was me, Ryan, and our buddy Jeremiah, and we left and went to a concert.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Bow, bow, bow.
So we went to Rockville back before they moved it to Daytona when it was still in Jacksonville. And we went
Daytona.
Daytona. Yeah, buddy. And we were there from like 11 to, I don't know, whenever the concert was about over. It was like 10, 11 in the morning till like all day out in the sun watching these bands and stuff. When we left, we were all fucking starving, just famished. But Ryan at the time was vegetarian, so we were like, all right, what can we do? And we were like, pizza. So we went to a Little Caesars and we got a $5 hot and ready cheese pizza. And when I tell you boys, that was one of the best pizzas I've ever had. It was exactly what we needed in that moment. It was so good.
Hunger is the best spice.
I had a
Posh
similar
is the
moment
second.
also with Jimmy John's. Same thing. I hadn't eaten like 12 hours because this was he was my friend at the time. It was his bachelor weekend, and we for some reason we We went paintballing. We went to an arcade. We did all this stuff, but we just did not eat until like 4 in the afternoon. And it's just like, we are fucking starving. And it's like, oh, Jimmy John's. You taste so damn delicious.
Jimmy's John's.
Hmm?
Jimmy's
John's
John's.
Jimmy. John's Jimmy.
John's Jimmy.
So I did have an awkward moment with my daughter in the room when we were watching this because I caught something that I didn't catch the first time that I watched it. And it was when they were staying with Rumi. So during the whole egg salad, fried udon noodles scene, and they're all sitting around eating after the fact. And then Suzume decides Sota needs to be included in the festivities. Pulls the chair out of the corner, sets him down at the end of the table, and then sits on his face.
And sits on him. Yep.
And looks down and gives him the look. And I'm like, I did not notice that look the first time around.
Damn it, you dirty-minded Japanese people. She's 16.
17.
17. She's only 17.
She is
That doesn't
12
make it any
minutes
better.
past the age of consent in Japan at that point. And it's not like he's training to be her teacher or anything.
Yeah, I saw that. It's just like, what is this movie?
Oni-chan.
Oh, well.
She definitely had the, I think, senpai noticed me face.
It certainly didn't help that she's basically wearing her schoolgirl outfit the entire movie.
Though, like, I never once, other than like that little scene right there, like, I didn't find any sort of sexualization in this movie.
Yeah, that was
like you can sometimes find.
That was probably the most risque implication, and even then, it was honestly played more like "ha, I said on you," or like maybe sitting in his lap.
Yeah, that's how I took it, was in his lap, but in his face is hilarious.
But we both know what she's really setting. He's talking out of the seat. All right, she is setting on his face.
Oh, I love that when he would just be like, "Good night, Suzume," and the chair would just go rigid and fall over.
Like a fainting fucking goat.
Yeah.
And then her rapey ass, like, kept picking him up while he's still clearly sleeping and, like, trying to figure out where on this chair she's supposed to, like, Sleeping Beauty kiss him awake.
And I don't have an answer to where that would be.
Nope. It's best not to know.
She always settled for, like, a forehead kiss based on where the eyes were placed. So I guess it's a little bit more wholesome, but still, like, he's asleep. That's not consensual.
Well, was he asleep, or was that it was like the crystallization trying to claim him?
Yeah, the implication is definitely that every time he loses consciousness, he is having to fight his way back, and she is what's bringing him back to, like, the realm of the living, because he's turning into the new Keystone thanks to Dajin's curse.
Which I felt like that plot line dropped like an hour into this movie, where it was like suddenly this dude's going through some serious shit. And you're like, oh god.
Well, I mean, it's there from the first time that she has a hard time getting him to wake up, but it's not really expounded upon until about the midpoint of the movie, when you find out that, oh, that's why he sleeps so hard.
Why she can't wake him up immediately.
He's dying. So when they get to Tokyo eventually, and they have the discovery that there's a second keystone there, and there is a massive gate from which the worm fully escapes, because apparently the second keystone failed.
I will say the entire movie, every time they keep saying a keystone, in my mind, it just like Keith Stone.
Oh, from the Keystone beer commercials?
Yep. It's like, we need Keith Stone.
I just thought about where I live.
So the first
I don't
restaurant
care about
that I
where you
worked
live.
at
I
the
was
college was called the Keystone Cafe.
So correct me if I'm wrong in remembering this. When they went into actually, never mind. We're not there yet. Never mind. I'll bring it up later.
Okay. So
I will say when I'm trying to remember. So Sota becomes the new Keystone. She impales him into the worm, and then they end up in this in this cave. It's just like, okay, where is the movie taking place now? I thought they were in another dimension, and then I was kind of a little disappointed. It's like, oh no, she's still in Tokyo.
Yeah, I think it's just supposed to be like some long forgotten underground shrine in the middle of Tokyo that she fell into.
Mhm.
And that's when Daijin comes up and is like, "Hey, we can be together now." And she scoops him up. And he's like, "You're hurting me." "No, you're really hurting me." And she's screaming, "Bring him back." He's like, "I can't." And then she goes to smack that fucking cat. And I'm not going to lie, I was on team Spike the kitty.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Especially right after that scene where how emotional it was for her to use him as the keystone. Like she did not want to do that shit, and he was like, "You have to do it. I'm dying. I've always loved you."
And Daijin sitting there like, the earth will break. A lot of people will die. You have to. Just that hopeless, there's
And
no
then we
other
can be
option.
together forever.
But instead of,
Goddamn.
spiking the little sumbitch like a fucking football, instead she destroys him emotionally. And is like, "I never want to see you." And he just, "Suzume doesn't love me." And shrivels back to his, like, stray state again and slinks off.
Baxter, I'm in a glass box of emotion.
Now,
That's Anchorman.
Dan, I know you said that there was a world where this is the end of the movie, right?
Yeah.
That'd be
And
a
I think
fucking bleak ending.
Yeah, and I kind of, on one hand, I enjoy the bleak endings, even though I still appreciate a happy ending, just because it's so infrequent to see the bleak ending.
Oh yeah, I love a good bad ending, dude, because it never happens. Yeah, exactly.
It's like I think that there is a cut of the movie that you could very reasonably make where she, limps out of there barefoot, goes back, puts her big girl outfit back on, and her aunt takes her home. Like, but here is where this movie that has been like kind of taking its time while still moving at a quick clip really felt like it started hitting the fast forward button every now and then, because the appearance of Sodajin, the second keystone, which apparently failed when the worm escaped, just kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. Now there's two. What the fuck?
I thought that thing was going to be like an antagonist or something or whatever, but it's just like, nope. And then eventually we see it later, like licking Daijin. It's just like a mother or mother treat a baby. It's just like, what?
Well, not to mention that, but the scene that you talked about earlier, where because they get into Sota's friend's convertible and continue the road trip because she's talked to Sota's grandfather and got the hint that she went through a door as a child, and that's the only door that she can actually walk through to reach the ever after to be able to get to Sota now. So they're road tripping to her destroyed home to find that door. When they get to the stop while it's raining, she has the fight with her aunt. And at least in the dub, the way that conversation plays out, it implies that Sodajin appearance, he is the influence that causes her aunt to say this shit to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Daijin and Sodajin fight for a few minutes. Sodajin picks him up like by the scruff and like, "Come on, fucker," shrinks down in size some, and then hops into the back of the car. Like, okay, I'm part of the party now. Okay, but what the fuck was that?
Yeah. What just happened?
Like, this is some Final Fantasy bullshit of walking up. What up? Like, this is like when Sid Highwind joins the party in Final Fantasy VII. It's just, I beat my wife. I wrecked the rocket ship. All right, motherfuckers, I got a dirty mouth. I'm part of the party. Move over. I'm driving.
And everyone's just like, okay, come on.
I don't know. I think he's racist. I ain't going to fight him.
Yeah, that the scenes leading up to that fight, like when she's riding the worm up, that whole shtick, and then like the rain going on when they're having that conversation and everything. It's just, again, going back to like the animation in this is so good and so pretty, and like they really really do these scenes a lot of justice with everything that's going on around the characters to really build the world space, that there's nothing in that moment of those two having that argument other than, the fantastical cats that are fighting, that really pulls you out of it being a very human moment. Almost like you don't even remember that you're watching an anime. You were just watching a human story between two people.
And speaking as a parent/parent figure who has blown up on a child that I deeply love, like, I do get the whole ants side of the thing. Like, one of the things and this it sounds terrible when a parent says it to someone who's not a parent. As much as you love your children, there's moments that you kind of don't like them. There's moments that you kind of feel a little bit of hatred at them, as much as you still love them. Just that, oh, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
So I can see dealing with like a late teenager having a lot of built up moments of what the fuck is this kid's problem? Do they not realize everything that I've given up to take care of this child and blowing up? And, I think some of the times that I've flipped my shit and blown up on my kid. And while it seems like they, instead of dragging it out the tropey way that Jeff was talking about earlier, where it's like, okay, we've got another half hour of film with a montage before they finally come back together and like, hey, I didn't mean what I said. Like that really pretty quickly paced moment of, look, I know what I said. And yeah, I've kind of thought that, but that's not the only thing I think. That's not the only way. And having that heart to heart and settling the complexity of human emotion. Like, yeah, I know, little girl, that I just lost my shit on you because you've said the same fucking fart joke for the 12th time in a row in the last 5 minutes. And it stopped being funny 3 in. But no, I don't really think you're stupid. I don't call my kid stupid, but to her face. That moment you sound like a bad dad. No,
Stop
I call my kid
telling
an
that
asshole.
joke, you.
I call my kid an
I was gonna
asshole
say-
to her face.
I was gonna say, stop telling that joke, you dumbass.
I've only called her a dumbass once, and I don't even remember what it was over anymore.
I do remember Mick saying to me that whenever this movie was over, he walked in his kid's room and his kid was asleep, and he just like brushed his hair with his hand a little bit and gave him a kiss on the forehead. And I was like, oh, that's
Wuss.
fuck off,
I mean,
Jeff.
I get that though.
I
Because,
get
like,
it. I get
but-
it.
Between how hard seeing 4-year-old Suzume in the throes of massive grief because she just lost her mom and isn't processing it, and then right there beside 17-year-old Suzume who is still not moved past it in a way.
Oh.
Like,
yeah, I can see me like, oh, I'm gonna be dead one day. Oh, I gotta go love
Yeah.
the child.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, it's a thought-provoking movie. I'll give it that. And I did not expect that going into this. Like, let me reiterate, because I don't think I made this clear at the beginning. When I picked this, I was like, oh, that's pretty. And I knew little or nothing else. I read the synopsis, and I'm like, random doors open? Okay. And I'm thinking, okay, so this is going to be like a Spirited Away-esque style thing. And it kind of is in a way, but like, I did not expect like the heart punches that this had. But
I mean, when you
I
know
was pleasantly surprised.
when you know the greater context behind some of the stuff in Spirited Away, that movie's really fucking,
Well, now I got another rabbit hole to fall down.
because that's like playing on some of the like child labor and potentially like exploitation points in its allusions to like, a kid at a bathhouse working now. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
I mean, there's probably a world where there's tentacle scenes in Spirited Away.
Let's just be thankful we're not living in that world. Let's just be thankful.
I don't think Disney would have funded the translation of it in that universe, though.
You never know. Like, in that universe, Ursula could be a whole different kind of villain.
Ooh. In that universe, mermaids are the other way around.
Fish on top, woman on bottom.
But they still want that dick.
Fry would be okay with it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's not
Snoo
beaten
snoo?
off in him. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised.
So, I guess that leads kind of to the climax of the film, where she finds the door that she went through as a kid,
Mhm.
and then goes through it.
With Daijin and Sadaijin.
And
there is an epic fight. Well, Sadaijin has an epic fight with the worm.
Yeah, you've
After
got that
after
kaiju battle
it,
going on in the background.
After it mega evolves.
Now, how do you feel if you're a cigarette guy and the ant, and this girl just sets up a door, opens it, and goes, bye, and jumps through it and disappears?
Well, Cigarette Guy didn't get to see that one, but her aunt saw it like straight on, just boom, went through the door and gone. And I imagine she was feeling an even more intense version of what the people who saw her jump off the bridge and shoot straight up into the air,
And
riding the
soar into the sky.
worm that no one else could see. Because they were probably like, holy fuck,
What the hell?
did she just do a superhero jump and fly off? Like, when she lands, that's going to be so rough on her knees.
How powerful is that chair?
For real.
I just imagine, like, Suzume had to be so, oh fuck, because when she first goes to the door, like, it's immediately, got to jump in and save them. So it's just, bam, straight in, doesn't think about it. And surprise, bitch, you're a mile in the air.
And you're flying over what looks like hell.
With two cats. Like, they don't have wings. You're fucked.
Yeah, I was waiting for her to be falling, and then here comes Bugs Bunny down next to her with Mickey Mouse.
There's a universe where this movie plays out where she jumps through that and just thump,
Splat, dead, end of movie.
Dark Souls. You
Cue
died.
credits.
Soda's in hell. And now you're with them.
And it ends with like this real upbeat song. It's just like, you know what? I have to applaud.
Do the Keystone Cop song.
Well, first, something that's going through my mind right now, and just in terms of dark endings, is the director's cut ending of Little Shop of Horror, where Audrey 2 wins and takes over the world. So now I'm just thinking that because it's the director, it's not the theatrical cut; it's the director's original ending. But like Suzume just like falls. Enters the ever after, and it's just Audrey 2 everywhere, and it's just like, this is not the direction I expected this movie to go, but I am interested. And then we get Rick Moranis. I'm like, I'm even more interested.
I thought he said he wasn't acting anymore.
And then Nick Cage comes in, going, not the bees. And then I'll give this movie a standing ovation.
Post-credit scene, just Keanu Reeves. Whoa.
And then Owen Wilson. Wow.
I did like the kaiju battle going on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was some fun animation.
But, they went through so much effort to show you Sodajin's true form, but you only get to see Dajin's, like, in quick glimpses where he transforms to save Suzume from all these epically high falls she keeps taking.
Yeah. It's at least 3 times where he just, like, wraps around her like a flying squirrel.
Just full-on Tanuki sack cushioning her fall.
Because, yeah, he doesn't stay like that, because it's like, boom, and then shloop, back to Tawny Daijin.
But, while the battle ensues behind, makes a run for the hill, which is technically the worm's ass or face. I don't know. Worms are kind of two-ended, I guess. But gets over there, starts fighting to pull him out while, screaming she'll be the keystone instead. Just something she wants to save him. And that's the point where Daijin starts to try and help pull him out too. He breaks free from his frozen prison on the beach. And they have this caring moment where they're laying there side by side in the dirt and they kind of look into each other's eyes. And then Soda comes to his senses, sees flying rubble, scoops her up in his arms and goes, "Bitch, we gotta move."
We gotta go!
Daijin turns back into the keystone, and then they hop up on the boat. He does his big prayer, and Daijin stops fighting his giant kaiju battle, runs up, eats them, and then flash, now they're up in the air again for their final epic fall of the film, both heading towards the different ends of the worm. Sota holding the keystone that is presumably Daijin, and Suzume with the keystone that is Daijin, and they just spear the worm in both of its faces or asses or whatever they are at the same time. And then we have the time loop moment that I bitched about earlier.
Yeah.
The one that I also said that goes on for too long.
Runs into herself from 12 years ago, realizes that, oh shit, it was me. It wasn't my mother, it was me.
And as neat as that is conceptually, I don't think this movie would have been hurt if that aspect of it didn't really, I know that it's kind of doing the whole cycle of healing from past trauma, but like if that was not in the movie, I don't think.
I can see that. I can see where
Yeah.
both of you are coming from there. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I thought it was a beautiful scene myself.
Oh
What
yeah,
I
it was a
appreciate-
definitely heart-rending one, but like, I don't think it would have hurt the story on the whole because of all the hoops that you have to kind of think about to parse what's really going on if you're not just kind of vibing with the emotions of it.
Yeah. One thing that I appreciated about the end of this movie is that Sota doesn't just sacrifice his future to be with this chick. At the end of it, he's still like, I'm going to Tokyo. I'll come back and visit.
Mhm.
Or, when you get old enough, you can come out there. But he's like, I'm still going to go to school and do all this that I was going to do. Whereas, sometimes, and Jeff, you were talking about movie tropes earlier. Sometimes the trope at the end is, oh, I don't need all that. I'll just start a new life here with you. We'll have a farm and a white picket fence.
Well, we'll see what happens because they see each other a year later, and of course, now in my mind, now that you've told me what her age throughout the movie was, now it's like, hey, Sota, she's 18.
And she can do what she wants.
So you want to go set on my face again, or without an audience this time?
No, they'll go back to Kobe just to do it again. It's like, hey, Ruby.
No.
It's just funny. I keep having to say Rumi just because it's like, hey, Rumi, how you doing?
Hey, Ruby.
Like-
So one of the nice touches that I really appreciated about the credits, because the movie's kind of wrapping up its loose threads and the trip home as it's starting the credits. During the road trip, when they hop on the bullet train to Tokyo, she sleeps through getting to see Mount Fuji close up. And there's this, bickering back and forth with Sota about, you could have woke me up for it. I guess I could have. During the little clips where they have like these little mini animated moments showing as they backtrack their way through all the places and they stop with Suzume and her aunt with all the people that she stayed with along the way. You can see in their little clip for riding the bullet train back, she sleeps through getting to see Mount Fuji on the return trip too. And I thought that was just a fun little touch while her aunt is just sitting there sipping on a beer, letting her sleep through it. I just wanted to call that one out because that was a cute little moment to me.
Yeah, for sure. I love the lore from Japan about the two provinces that Fuji sits between and how the provinces argue over who has the better view of Mount Fuji. That's just tremendous.
I think that is a fun, never-ending.
I hope it never ends. I really do. I hope it goes on forever. I hope that's one of the longest standing feuds in the world.
Yeah, in the distant future, Japan returns to feudalism and like they settle it in blood.
Yeah. Comes out in this just massive war a la Dynasty Warriors, but Japan. So I guess it would be Samurai Warriors. Tremendous. Well,
yeah, like-
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but yeah, that I think that they had a really nice kind of way to do the feel good ending, but without falling into the standard just immediate happily ever after.
Yeah, and that ending scene, where they see each other again on the same road where they first met, just leaves it open to interpretation on how it goes from there, which I think is cool too. Or is it a time loop and everything happens all over again?
Just imagine Suzume 2 picks it up exactly there. It's like, hey, so you want to go like, ding, ding, ding. Earthquake warning on the phone. Motherfucker.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Boom, boom, boom. Da, 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 da.
I'm happy
That could
to
have
hear
been the
though,
real
Dane.
post-credits.
I'm happy to hear though that your kiddo liked this.
Yeah, she has definitely I cannot get her to sit down and watch a anime series for anything, but she has a real love for the Studio Ghibli films. I know one of them that you said popped up on the list whenever you picked Suzume was The Imaginaries that we had coincidentally me and her had just. She really enjoys like just the feature film, but not so much she won't sit down and watch. None of them grab her attention, but the movies where I guess they move a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And you're not having the whole we've got to get this shit done quick and on a budget animation shortcuts. They're putting full effort into every scene where they're not necessarily on the show. So I guess it's showing off the best of what anime can do, and it definitely grabs their attention.
Yeah, I feel like if an anime show had this quality of animation in it for every episode, that would be an expensive anime to keep going for more than one season.
Yeah, you would be winding up with one of those OVAs that releases like an episode every 2 years.
Yeah.
The original run for Tenchi Muyo or Bubblegum Crisis.
You will get it when it is done. And that is that.
Bubblegum Crisis is an interesting one because you actually get to see the transition from lower frame rate, really sketchy, detailed 80s anime into the more fluid movement, higher frame rate, lower detail 90s aesthetic over the course of that series where they were releasing it so far in between one episode to the next.
I'll have to put that on. I don't know if that's on my watch list, but Bubblegum Crisis. I would like to see that. That seems like it would be cool.
The gist of that one is 4 women wear mech suits, fight nutso androids that go run amok around the city.
Hell yeah.
They did do a during the late 90s, early 2000s, where every limited series had like a 24 episode run. There was a remake that did a 24 episode run of it.
You said mech suit. It made me think. I saw a thing the other day where this guy goes, I saw a video of 2 pregnant women fighting. And I thought, oh, that's just terrible. And I went to sleep. And I woke up 2 hours later and I realized, did I watch 2 pregnant women fighting? Or did I watch 2 babies in mechs fighting it out?
The inspiration for Evangelion. Which Bubblegum Crisis mech suits are more Iron Man mech suits than Gundam mech suit.
Okay, I get you. Kind of like the Muv-Love aesthetic, like those girls that kind of have like the armor on them.
This is like a full body Iron Man armor, and each one has their own special set. The Muv-Love alternative stuff, like they have their flat suits that are like the close fitting armor stuff, but they are piloting Gundam size mechs in that.
Oh, okay. I don't know much about it. I just own it, and I'll check it out eventually. It's on my list of visual novels to get to.
Extra is a really good guilty pleasure, but it's a high school slice of life. It's when you get to the hidden sequel in the first game, where you get sucked into the alternate dimension where aliens have invaded, that the actual story starts. And then alternative is when shit gets PTSD inducing and starts being more linear instead of just massively branching. Fun series. And much like Suzume, all the girls are 17.
Of course. It's always high school kids.
But unlike Suzume, they did do H scenes. And alternative does have a tentacle scene involved, which the community lovingly refers to as Twizzlers.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Jeff's favorite.
Huh?
I knew he had tuned us out.
But the Steam release is the all ages version that cuts that stuff out. You don't see it. And when they first came out, you could buy the director's cut patches to reinstate them, but another company took over the translation and decided, nope, we're not having that shit in here anymore, and they discontinued the director's cut patches. But then,
I'm sure.
Well, like the ones that were made are still out there, but all of the new translation things, because they've been like pumping through all of the extended universe material and putting them out rapid fire and giving them official English translations, but none of them ever got that treatment. So they got way more done, but they took out all the fan service for the people who care about fan service. I was just happy to get English translations of the shit that I was never able to get a fan translation for.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the titties are just extra.
And some of them are very extra. Like, there has never been a human with those proportions. That's ridiculous.
This is where we need a soundbite of Palsh doing his big booby mommy movie milkers. Mommy boob. Big boob. Mommy milker, baby mommy boober, milk your boobs.
And then he can cap it off with Perchana.
Perchana.
So anything else we want to cover about with this movie?
No, I'm just pretty much, it made me want to see the other 2 movies in the Disaster Trilogy.
Same. And I have heard references that apparently some characters from one movie will pop up like as background cameos in other ones. So presumably all 3 of these movies might actually be happening in the same universe, even though it's not a continuous narrative that's being told across the trilogy. It's more of a thematic one. Or they could just be
I-
Easter eggs. Or maybe
I'd
they just
love
all
if-
look alike.
Like say in the first movie or something, like Your Name, there's just a scene where like two people are talking and then just like far off in the distance you just see a chair run by, and people would have been like, what the fuck was that? And then they wouldn't have known until this movie came out 6 years later.
Well, here is one of the weird things about Japanese folklore that I am familiar with. There is a type of haunted object that happens with things that are used, and like people spend a lot of time investing like emotions and time with an object, and then it gets put to the side, and over time of being abandoned becomes like a sentient thing. I used to know the word for it, but like, that is a part of the folklore. So like, if you saw a chair running around, you'd be like, "Oh fuck, it's possessed. We got to go burn it and salt its ashes," or whatever the fuck they do. I guess get a prayer tag and take it to a Shinto shrine.
That's what I would think. So they take it to a shrine and try to get it blessed, or maybe to a holy man of some sort. But overall, dude, I really enjoyed this. I give it a big thumbs up and I highly recommend. If you haven't seen it and we've made it sound interesting to you, definitely check it out, because I tell you, we're not doing the animation and stuff justice. That you have to see for yourself.
What about you, Jeff? Final thoughts on it?
Good movie.
All right, you're dragging this out a little bit too long, Jeff. Can we wrap it up?
Don't worry, truncate silence will fix that.
Nah, fuck
What
that.
about
I'm
you,
gonna
Dane?
play it Dalton style. I ain't truncating shit this episode.
God.
Yeah, I was. I was pleasantly surprised by it. I really was. Like I said, primed to fucking hate this movie from the get go, and it won me over in very short order, which is very unusual. Whenever I've decided that something's going to be ass going in, but yeah, like we can't do the visuals justice. It really is something worth seeing. But being the only one who saw the dub, I thought it was well done, and based on just the conversation from y'all watching the sub, I don't think that anything was really lost in translation. I
No,
think
that is one thing that I read about it, was that the dub did a good job of not changing too much from the original script.
So yeah, I mean, I think we're all kind of agreeing. It's a good movie. Give it a shot.
Score! I have once again redeemed myself.
Eh.
He will never forgive
off, Jeff.
Hypercube. Like if you die
One day-
first and he's at the funeral, he's gonna be, hey, you need to put me on the eulogy list. I've got some things I need to say. Dalton was a good guy. He was a real Girth Brooks. But we did a podcast back in the day, and let me tell you what this sumbitch made us watch.
Jeff pulls out a fucking projector and just makes everyone watch the movie, and then just stands up there afterwards and goes, "That is the movie he made me watch, and I think you all know exactly how I'm feeling right now."
Like
And then just-
explicitly the fast forward sex to death scene. So I guess all we have left is what the next one's going to be for Anna May, Anna June, Anna July, not Anna August. And the third round pick is going to our Grumpy Duck, Grumpy Jeff. So, Jeff, which movie have you decided is going to be your animation pick?
Well, I know for a fact that Mick is going to love this pick.
South Park.
Well,
Bigger, longer, uncut.
Yeah.
so let's recap. We went live. We went live action animated with Roger Rabbit. We were going Japanese. We went Japanese animation with Suzume. I think it's we have to round this off with some computer animation, and we are gonna be the start of one of my journeys of what I think is the perfect trilogy. Gentlemen, we're doing How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, okay.
And that is the original one, not the pseudo live action reboot that's still mostly animated, right?
Correct. We are doing the good trilogy, not that started in 2010, I believe.
Is that Pixar or is it DreamWorks? Is it one of
I
those?
think DreamWorks.
DreamWorks. Word up. I'll source that, man. I've never seen that. I do know Toothless is hella cute, though.
He's adorable. He's a giant cat.
More with the cats.
More with the cats.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. So, look, if you stuck with us this long, I don't know how you do it. Especially with how long you had to wait for that Roger Rabbit. That was such a great episode. Everyone loved the episode. Best episode ever. But we appreciate you. So, as always, I've been Mr. Puzzles. That's been Grumpy Jeff. He's been Steam Machine Dalton. You've been the audience. Thank you for listening. Jeff, as we wrap this up, are there any parting words you want to leave these lovely, lovely people with?
2 things. First, fuck you, Mick. We've talked South Park. And 2, she totally sat on his face.
You know, I wonder if he had a thing for feet, because he did not move an inch when she stepped up on him. And it's like he suddenly realized he had to be offended when she goes, "Oh, do you mind?"
He's got a foot fetish.
He's got a thing for feet. Did anybody else think the worm looked like a dick?
Mm-hmm.